Put me in the group, man. Let me know what's going on.
How was your day? How's your day going?
Great, man. It's great, man. Business, you know, working today, came through, put some fry oil in the fryer, you know. Left, bank run, a couple things like that, you know. Then I have to pick up my daughter.
Yeah.
To bring her here to work to where she works here as well. It's a dishwasher.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How old's your daughter?
14.
Nice.
Yeah, first job, so you know, it was felt good to give my daughter her first job and then her first check.
Right.
Man, because you know, when we was kids, that first check is like, man, you take pictures of it, and guess whose name was on there? Mine.
Right.
So that was a blessing.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, and that's not, so I actually, you know, my family has a business in Illinois. It's a candy store. My uncle, his wife, his oldest daughter, and now his sons from his current marriage, you know, they're in it, but like my great grandfather started it. And so that was, you know, in high school, that was, you know, eventually my job. I actually sort of rebelled against it, but then, so my brother was working there, my older brother, but then when he went off to college, then I was like, okay, I'll go do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, seeing, you know, like, oh yeah, my family built, you know, we're doing this. And it, even if at times when I was there with my dad, with my uncle, with my grandpa, I was kind of like, oh, whatever, you know, this thing. With my friends, I was always like, yeah, my family's got this. You know? We're making this happen.
Man.
And,
Definitely.
you know, so that was really great. So, you know Zade.
Yes.
And that event that you were all part of Saturday night, the Black Health and Healing, that was incredibly powerful.
Yes, it was. That was a good day, man.
That was
amazing. I learned so much that day with that. Man,
yeah.
amazing.
I mean, so I met Zade a little over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So she and my friend Armand, he was there, you know, the dapper gentleman with the longer curly hair.
Yeah.
So they started coming into Eureka that first summer of 2017.
They lived up that near that way.
Yep. And they all just sort of rolled in, and my first memory of Zade is, so first they came in, and I think I was bumping like some Atmosphere or something, and Armand is just, Armand's sort of in his own space, and like he's just grooving, and Zade, I was like, here, you can pick a record, and she had like picked up my phone or something, like it was streaming, and I was like, no, there's a box of records right here. Pick a record. She's like, wait, what? And so she had grabbed some Miles Davis, and I was like, why did you pick Miles Davis? This is a really, like, it's Saturday afternoon, and she's like, it was the only name I recognized. And I was like, okay, and put it back on, and put it on, and they hung out, and then, you know, so after Veg Fest every year, I do this all-you-can-eat taco party, the Veg Fest after party. And it was, at that time, it was like the third community dinner that I had done. And all of a sudden, I started realizing, oh, this is going to be nuts. Like, I'm not going to be able to do this by myself. I'm going to need somebody here. So I just put this like social media post out. I was like, anybody, you know, first person to call me to help out, you know, can come and help out at the Veg Fest after party. And Zade was the first person to call. And I was like, sure, yeah, great, come on over, whatever. And, you know, she just shows up that day. You know, we just talked, and this was maybe like 4 days before. And she just shows up, and it's just like, okay, yeah, we got this, I got it. And like right away, you know, on the register, and she's, you know, she had the vibe. She was right there, had it, and is talking to people, is directing people, is keeping the line in check and everybody just like calm down, just because she's just got this presence. And and we've always just sort of stayed in touch. And really the last 8, 9, now probably 9, 10 months, she's been there much more, been there on Saturdays, and shop girls, she shop girls a day, and has always, so I remember her like, oh, my sister and I, we're gonna do this thing, and we got this concept, and to then like, no, we've really sort of refined it, and to, hey, I think we're gonna do an event in January. Hey, okay. Hey, we're really gonna do this. Hey, now I'm working with Lewis, and hey, now we're gonna do this whole thing, and we're gonna have a trio there. And I didn't, I was prepared for, to really be there and like just be present in support of Zidane. Mm-hmm. And then it was, she's presenting all this information. She's presenting all of it, and just like, and I mean, obviously, having spent all this time with her, it's something that we had talked about, the disparities in health in, specifically the Black community, mm-hmm. And just all of a sudden, like, oh man, we're the food options we're being given are making us sick. And then you came up and talked. And you remember the first time you and I met?
It was at your
yeah, you came up to one of the ticketed dinners.
Yep. You know what? I think that was maybe the 4th time I had vegan food. That maybe been the 4th time I had vegan food. The 4th time.
Wow. And that was, I don't even really remember what the menu was.
I got pictures of that.
Okay. Yeah. And that was, I mean, that's a crazy 4th experience. Because that was a 6-course, like, this isn't, we're beyond veggie burgers and, some things. Like, I had done some really wacky stuff. I was doing stuff that, I mean, I probably could have done with a team, but to do a 2-seating, 12 spots at each seating, 6-course, like, fine dining event, I was flying by. And I'll be completely honest with you, like, I was like, this guy's suspect of this whole thing.
No. I at that time I already had my ears. Well, what I say, I already had my taste buds ready to try different foods because me and Sarah and Dan was trying things at the time. So when Sarah came to me, she was like, "Let's go try this vegan restaurant over here in St. Paul that got a fine dining going on this day. Me, you, and Dan can go. And we invited some extra friends with us as well. So we went, and so I already had my mind open. I got an open mind to food now. Before I used to be like, no, that's not away from me. But I'm willing to taste. You know what I mean? And I try to find the flavors in food now.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually kind of helped me do that at that time because that's what I was doing at that time. I was finding flavors with I could do. You know what I mean? If I was doing this, what would I do?
Yeah.
So it was just eye opener for me at that time. You know what I mean? So I think we had a pie there, and you had some greens.
I did.
You had some pie and some greens. I remember the pie. I loved it.
Yep.
I loved the pie and the greens. They was good. They just was just a little hard, but they was good. But otherwise, I loved it. I mean, that's why I said I was finding my taste.
Yeah.
Like I said, and that's what when I decided to do the vegan stuff with Sarah, when I was learning about it on my own, I wanted to taste it and flavors of my own. I knew everything wasn't really good to me.
Yeah.
So,
one thing that I've learned, and it's funny because, even before the transition to this becoming yours, this was one of the restaurants when people come into Eureka, before Trio opened, I would say you have to go to Fig and Fair. It's the only other vegan restaurant you need to go to. Because it was, to me at the time, it was the only place doing something that you couldn't make for yourself at home for a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
And then I came in here probably the first week you guys were open.
Yeah.
And, to me, and again, being in the restaurant industry, I hear from so many people, they were like, oh, I was there the first week they opened. It was the first week they opened. Like, you gotta grow with it. But I really love the garbanzo salad. I really love the ribs at the time. I really love the vibe. And so then I was like, you gotta go to Trio. Because I know Ian Gray, who had Gray House here.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a spot that needs people like you gotta go there. City of Minneapolis needs something in this spot. You gotta go. And then I came here with my dad and my wife last November. And my dad's not vegan, but to me he enjoyed it. It fit into that spread of like gateway vegan food, but better than just veggie burgers and like a wrap or something, or just a foamy barbecue. And then Aaron and I came here maybe a month ago, and again, this is a different kitchen staff now. This is a different driver behind it.
Yes.
It's grown. You've learned. You've got all the.
Yes. Yes.
And now I was like, oh,
Man.
this is not only accessible. This is really like the flavors there.
Yes.
This is up and level. This is why you like try to nurture something and you grow with it.
Yes.
And you give it time.
I'm happy you said that, because the whole idea was when me and my ex-business partner sat down at a table and we talked about opening a restaurant, and she said, let's open a vegan restaurant. The first thing I said, it has to have seasoning, it has to have flavor, and you get into business and you try to accommodate certain people, oh, that's too salty, or that's too much of this, and as business partners, you come to agreement and you try to agree to go on down the same path. But I always still have my vision, like, man, if it had a little bit more or a little bit less, you know what I mean? And when I was able to get and do everything, and with my new cook, sat down and revamped the menu, seasoning, flavor, more taste, and that's what I wanted. I wanted something comfortable for people who's not vegan, even for vegans as well.
Yeah.
But I wanted people to eat plant-based. You know what I mean? I wanted them to try it and be like, okay, I had a burger, or I had some greens and some cornbread, and it was vegan. It was plant-based. It was all plant-based. It was no eggs. It was no dairy. So, yeah, look at that.
Jackfruit roll and chili cheese fries.
Awesome.
Yes.
So love this. This is just going to kind of sit here in front of us for
Yeah.
a little while while
Yes.
we're talking.
Yeah,
This is you're not going to get a better
Man, that's a good
stage prop than
Yes.
this.
Yes. So yeah, that's what it was all about. Getting the flavor there, man. I just wanted the flavors to grab the ones, like I said, that was non-vegan, to be like, oh, vegan food is okay to eat, and then they can go try, a higher, places of vegan food and be like, oh, I can understand it because I did have something, so I understand. They can understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing. Comfort food. I just wanted something comfortable. Me and Sarah, we always agreed upon that. Let's make it comfortable, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be comfort food.
Yeah, and you know, from both times, the first 2 times that I was here, before the big kitchen change, one of the things that really struck me was the people who were in here with children, and that the kids were eating food that wasn't like a corn dog. You know, you had the mac and cheese, and I appreciated that you created, you know, let's look at the soul platter, you know, and that you could, if you could sit there and bargain with your kid and say, just try the greens.
Right.
just try the greens.
Yes.
That they were probably going to take 2 or 3 bites.
Yes.
After you were like, you can have the fries after you try them. That the garbanzo salad, that you could have probably, that any of this here, you could have said, just try it. And for me, you know, and kind of going back to all of it, like, one of the hardest things for me to learn and accept was not everybody's going to like it, you know, and you just have to accept it. Like, what I like is different than what other people like, and that's fine. But thank you.
Yes.
But you need that, like, that first, yes, this is good, you know. And me, again, not repeating the recipe. Like, there's plenty of times where I just know, like, this is what's going to be, here it is. And the first person who comes in and orders it, first I hope that maybe they hang out a minute and eat it and don't just take it and go. But once that first person is like, oh, this is really good, and then I'm like, that's fine, it's good. I stop even asking people. I'm like, we voted, it's good. And talking to people when Trio first opened to now. When Trio first opened, and I was getting feedback, communicating with people, because again, I was here that first week. And I always tell everybody, I was like, I don't, you know, it had to wait. Like, I couldn't, it was like, this is when I can get there. I get that. You know, I'm pretty sure I've tried all the vegan restaurants. I haven't been out to Earth Burger at the mall. I don't really, their chain, I don't think I need to support that. I mean, if I'm out at the mall, I'll stop there. I don't remember the last time I was out at the mall. But everybody was talking about, oh, we really like the mission, we really like the community, you know, we really like the spot. Now when I talk to Trio, talk about Trio, everybody's like, oh, I love the food. Oh, yeah, the new menu, yeah, the new kitchen. Yeah, what Lewis is doing that. It's fantastic. And, you know, obviously I've talked to Zidane. There's, like everything in life, there's a whole lot going on.
Yes.
That got you to here.
Yes.
And there was something that, hearing your story about the arrest, about what you were facing, and then going to Angela, Zidane's mom. She said a phrase that both my wife and I, we reacted to. She said, the misery index. We've got our misery index here. And it's the list of every injustice and wrongdoing against us. And we just sit here, and what we do is we just have been reciting our misery index and adding things to it and not addressing it. So, April 4th of 2017, I had a party. I had the launch party for Eureka. It was the best night of my life. I got shit-faced drunk. I got a DUI driving home. I had the best night of my life. I woke up drunk in county jail. I spent 42 hours in county. It was a gross misdemeanor. They didn't have to release me. I had 42 hours to sit there. And you get these thoughts in your head. One of those thoughts is, oh man, I'm in county. I'm in prison. I'm one of these hard asses. I'm bad. One of these is, my life's over. This is it. My wife's going to divorce me. This is done. I'm going to lose everything. I went from the highest high, family, friends, people from the vegan community all came out to help me launch this. And another one is, well, now I can only go up. And where does that up go? What do I do with it? I didn't die. I didn't hit somebody. I didn't kill somebody. I didn't destroy any property. I didn't do anything. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm healthy. What am I going to do with this? And I came out of that with this very dedicated and singular vision of, I can make my life as great and as impactful and powerful as it can be, as the potential of any human existence from this change. And my whole life changed. Like, I changed everything I was doing. I walked away from so many friends. I had friends that walked away from it. I had I had a lawyer that was like, you don't have to go to the treatment program. You don't have to do this. You don't have to go and get the drug test. You don't have to have the breathalyzer thing that you blow into. I said, nope, I'm changing. This is my time to change. This is my time to do everything differently. And did it. And
hold on, not to cut you off. He said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't even, I plead out. He's like, they're not going to accept it. I'm like, yeah, they're going to accept a plea agreement. You don't have to plead guilty. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. No. I pled guilty. My fine was $400. I got a gross misdemeanor DUI, but because I went to treatment and turned my whole life around, my DUI cost me like $3,000. It could have cost me a year. It could have cost me a lot.
Yeah.
But I took this very stressful, terrible situation. Now, mine was of my own making. Yours was not. But you're still there. You're like, you could have been, I'm just another terrible victim of the system. I'm just this. And you said, no, I'm not just going to be a victim of the system. I'm gonna be Lewis Hunter. And what they're saying I am isn't Lewis Hunter. And now what am I going to do for me? And, I know for a fact, like, there was dark, hopeless moments. And that crushes a lot of people. People give up.
That was, man, that was a delightful story right there. That was something, it just shows you that, people go through things. Once again, I say overcome. I remember I never heard that story, so
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn. But yeah, with mine, man, it was just, man, them that was like that was the hardest time of my life.
Yeah.
Period. Like, it's just when you know you didn't do something. I know we all been them kids, you know what I mean? You got your brother, your sibling, your cousin, whoever you're playing with, and something happens. TV falls, something happens. I didn't do it. And parents can be, who did it? Who did it? You know what I mean? And it's for who to say who did it. And you know, we was from you better not tell, you know. So we had to stay very quiet. So we both getting blamed for it until it's time we get a spanking. Then you be like, no, he did it. You know what I mean? Like, no. But in my situation, I didn't know who did it. Whatever they was talking about, I didn't know nothing. I didn't see that today. But they was trying to give me the whipping of something that somebody else did that I'd never even done. And I wasn't going to accept that.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't accept that. Like they put charges in my hood on people for nothing. We paying to them halfway. 9 times out of 10 we do. Okay, no same assessment for the same people in 1 year. I take that. Because why? I don't have to deal with you no more. I know I'm not gonna do that no more, and I'm done with it. And I'm out the door. But guess what? You got a whole year that you got over your head, even though you're not gonna do that. And you took the charge. So now this is on your record. And I wasn't taking that.
Right.
I wasn't taking because now, for my community, you threw Molotov cocktails at the police and you got away with it. And we pull you over. We're going to give you the most roughest time ever. Because guess what? When we read your plates, it says that this person, and within that year, because you be on paper or whatever they say with the courts for a year, it's going to come up on your license plate that you are on probation with the courts for throwing Molotov cocktails at the police. And I didn't want that on my record.
Right.
No, I'm not accepting something. Like I said, you stand for something to fall for anything. And I had to stand. I had to do it. It was for self. Definitely for my kids, because I had to prove to my daughter, because my daughter had came to me, was like, Dad, they're not giving you no jail time. Won't you just take it? And I'm just like, and I gave her the example. Like, what if you in the living room playing with friends or cousins or something and the TV fall? And I'm telling you, I'm about to whoop you for it. I'm getting you in trouble for it. What are you going to do? Shh, I'm not going to take that. Exactly. I can't take these charges. And she was like, well, Dad, if you're going to do it, I'm with you. I said, you got to stand for something before for anything. So I felt that was a lesson for me to teach my daughter as well at that time. So I just told him I can't take it. So that's what my lawyer even said in my documentary, that I was courageous for doing that, because he even came to me and was like, Lewis, 2 years, we've been fighting this case for 2 years. They got it all the way down to this, and now everything else after this is trial. You really gonna go fight this in trial? I'm like, yes. I didn't do it.
Right.
And he's like, man, I understand. Like, no. My auntie, family. I had faith that God wasn't gonna let that happen to me. You know, it was some faith in me. I don't know what it was, but it was just like, nah. I watched the documentary, guys going to jail for a long time for stuff they didn't do. I was getting scared, nervous, all that. But like I said, God brought the truth of which stood, you know, that I did not do that. They had nothing against me. They just wanted me to plead.
Yeah.
I would have pleaded, imagine if I would just plead to the 20 years. I'd have been going for 20 years. But if I would have waited out like I did, they had nothing on me. It's nothing on me.
Yeah.
And they had me going through that for 2 years. So, yeah.
Now, I mean, you sit here, because there's something. Doing this, doing this here. Everybody talks to me and they're like, why are you in St. Paul? Minneapolis is so much more vegan friendly. How many people driving by right now, like what, maybe none of them are plant-based?
Yes.
You know? No, it's not friendly anywhere. Okay? You're doing it, and you're sitting there, and you're coming out of this struggle and everything into this struggle, but now you're struggling again, but you're not struggling for somebody else. You're struggling to build your thing. I mean, I think about it. I mean, you're struggling to support every one of your employees.
Yes.
You're struggling to set an example for your daughters.
Yes.
You're struggling to set an example for your community.
Yes. Got a lot. You know, it's a lot of pressure, but it's good pressure. It's not that, oh man, what if I go to jail? That, somebody gonna shoot me, you know. The police is gonna pull me over and do something to me. It's not that much. So this pressure is more of a, I can get through this. I can do this. Because there's no harm. I'm not harming nobody. I'm trying to make things better. You know? So, I look at it as good pressure. I mean, like, some pressure you just can't take. This is pressure that you just be like, okay, I know today's going to be a little rough, but I'll get through this. Especially when I see a sink full of dishes. It's going to be rough.
I know that.
But I know it's going to be the last dish I put away. I'm like, I'm done. And that's how I look at things whenever I do things. Even when I help doing things all around this building. When I say I'm going to do this one window, it's going to take, when I put that last paint on it, it's done. And that's my result. I just want to see when it's done and me come over and accomplish that goal that I was trying to do. So, I like it.
It's not a sink of a boss's dirty dishes.
Yes. That's a blessing there. That's a blessing.
Anytime I have that pile of dishes, those are the tools that created what fed the community.
Exactly.
And those are my tools. That's my
man,
that feeling.
Man, I tell people like, man, that's my plate. You know, it's like this salt shaker. Like I can't believe where I'm at now. Sometimes it's just mind blowing. You just know. I know I can feel, and I seen it with my own. I'm a living witness to God's amazing man. That man, he shows up and he show out. He might not come when you want him, but he will come. He will be there, and that just shows me so much, man. Like I swear, like I can never believe that I am serving you today, onion rings. Vegan food, you know, all plant-based. I could have never told you just 2 years ago. And like I said in my documentary, like, I'm proud of myself so much that I did take the time out to learn about plant-based. I took the time out to learn about it. I took the time out to learn about what it was doing to my community as it's eating non-plant-based things. So, when I got to learning that stuff, it appealed me even more to want to do it. Like at first it was just like, let's do this. And I'm like, well, let's do it. Because I'm a person like, and I want to try it. I try anything. To see if it would work, you know? But when I found love in it, is when I read on it. When I got to watching documentaries, watching what the hell, and doing certain things that to figure this out, you know?
Yeah.
So, man.
And so, another thing that you talked about, that at that event on Saturday, that it struck me because it's definitely something that I think about. And as a, 40-year-old white guy from St. Paul, I don't want to speak for other communities, but I see it. And you talked about plant-based, that you say you're plant-based. And that, everybody's got their reasons for going plant-based or going vegan. And I mean, I'm at a point now where somebody asks me like, oh, well, why did you go vegan? And I say all the reasons. Because there's so much to it. But and this is a difficult conversation for me to have with people or to put out on social media or anything. You're right. Showing you a video of some pigs in cages, when there's family, people in your community that are in cages for something that I probably would have gotten a fine for or probation. And I say this, we're like talking to the Minneapolis City Council, the St. Paul City Council about banning fur sales or about like plastic straws. Well, why isn't the City Council talking about the homeless encampment, talking about hungry kids going to public schools? And it is. Like if all vegan advocacy all of a sudden focused that attention on like
Human.
right to a point where, oh, now we all have the spare time and the ability to worry about that, it would actually get the end result faster. And it's a frustrating thing.
I feel you 100%. With veganism and all that, I didn't do that for animals. Even though I care about animals, I did it because my community needs to eat healthy. I got people in my community dying from diabetes, high blood pressure, etc. goes on. So with that being said, it was like, let me do something to bring something to my community. Now, that's why we named it Trio Plant-Based, not Trio Vegan. I am not a vegan restaurant, I'm a plant-based restaurant. Because I want to get to my community and show them how to eat healthy. Maybe they can become vegans after that, but we got to learn how to eat healthy first. And we eat healthy with plant-based foods. So, by not using no animal products, not one, nothing. But you gotta learn it by just eating some plants first and learning that, taking away from what we was given. You gotta try to take it away from the kid. It's like giving a kid a sucker. And they all into the sucker, they get it all the way down this small, and you think you can go take it away now? No. You gotta give them something else to try to, to bring them back, to get the sucker from them. So that's what Trio is about. I'm trying to take the sucker away, which is all animal products from my community, and turn it back into plant-based stuff. So that's why I came, or don't use the word vegan as far, but it's vegan food.
Yeah.
It's definitely vegan food. But I can't use the word plant-based because I'm directing my angle towards a community that's not eating healthy, that I want to see eat healthy. And they can eat healthy and taste good at the same time as that same sucker that kid had.
Hey.
Now you trying to give them I'm going to use medicine. They trying to give them some medicine, but you want to take the sucker away, you know what I mean? So you just got to try to trick the mind at the same time. So I don't have no problem with the vegan community, none of that, all that. I have, I care for animals. I wouldn't want to see no animal hurt, harm in no type of way. I mean, we don't even kill bees around here.
Right.
We just don't do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just, I try to stay away from it because I'm trying to aim at a community that's dying from eating unhealthy.
Yeah.
So I want to aim there so we can help that. You know what I mean? That's where my angle is towards.
And what I loved about the event was you have Zade starting it and saying, where did medicine come from?
Yes.
It came from Africa. This is the start of holistic healing. Soul food starts with, what you grew in your backyard, what you fed your family, and these culinary traditions are African.
Yes.
They were taken and corrupted and fed back to you as poison.
Yes.
Where are the roots of agriculture? Africa. And now you have today's mom, a black woman, trying to be a farmer. And you have the greater black community that wouldn't know what to do on a farm. Like you've robbed you and then fenced you off.
From the farming.
Right.
You can't even, they won't even let black people get a farm. You
Yes.
see how you see what she was saying?
Yes. We were throwing her application away.
But they was throwing us out there at one point in time.
Right.
And now we can't even get one.
Right. Right.
So, all roots, prayer, everything to go to her. I want that thing to be successful. I want that thing to go.
Yeah.
Like, she deserves all that because we need that. Because, man, we need that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need all that good produce, fresh produce in my neighborhood. We don't get that. You know, our corner stores got bags of chips and candy and snacks. We don't have grapes, strawberries, cherries. We don't have that truck nowhere. You got to go to a grocery store to get this. We should be able to get this at our local corner store.
Yep.
There's no reason why we should not be able to get that. Because we can go to the local corner store in the white neighborhood and I know I can get that. I can go get a banana, an orange, apple, grapes, even maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that we need to switch it up, man, and let some more blacks be farmers.
Right.
Because, man, we need that produce in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that it's starting to happen over north a little bit. They bringing it, and that's, man, I stop by there, give me some grapes, and just keep on riding. Have it in your car. That's the things that people do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Apple in your car, whenever you want to eat it or something, you know, like this thing that is supposed to be in my neighborhood. Instead of, I'm getting all the new Debbie snacks, I'm getting all the new, the fake snacks and all that stuff. So, man, I just...
Corn syrup sodas.
Exactly.
Yep. And Armand, he had said, he's like, this is a perfect system. And what we take from the earth is our medicine, and we don't get sick. And if we do get sick, there's other medicine from the earth. But we've corrupted the earth so much, and what's coming from the earth, that it's making us sick. And to treat those symptoms, we took corrupted medicine. But if we had just kept eating what the earth was giving us, we wouldn't get sick.
It made you just hit it.
Right.
Bullseye.
Right. It was perfect.
Man, so when you got sick, you feed yourself more poison.
Yeah.
But if you would have ate healthy,
You'd have been fine.
you'd been fine.
And it is so important. It is so important that someone who looks like you that those families can come in here. I mean, and I've watched it. There are black families that come in here, and that 4-year-old, that 5-year-old, they look up and they see someone that looks like them,
Yes.
that's doing it. I mean, it's
That
historic. It
Yes.
is. You were the
This is
first
serious.
black-owned.
vegan restaurant in the state of Minnesota.
Right.
This is history. We're standing in history. You're sitting in history right now. You're part of history. Your crew is part of history. We history right now. And I'm so honored to know and to be given my community and the rest of the communities this food, this taste, this eating habit, this way of life. I'm glad God chose me because I just felt like I was just the chosen one for this.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been from, it had to be somebody deep that was deep in the community, like, and like you said, look like me, like, you know.
Yeah.
So it feels good. It really do feels good, you know, because my people, they come here and they see there's another way, and they be proud of me as well, you know. And I be like, no, this is for all of us, you know, and which it is. This is for everyone. I don't care what community. I have no race preference, but I just know in my community, there's a lot of dying going on due to not eating healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you talked, I'm in a food truck, and I like it that do a food truck that isn't like parked out in front of some yuppie brewery. Do a food truck and bring it right up to Broadway. Put it right in front of Neon.
I'm going smack dead in my neighborhood. I'm going where whatever if y'all call it the violence or whoever call it, whatever, I'm going right there.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm going to a corner. I'm getting friends with corner stores now. I'm doing this on purpose to get friends with them, to let them know I got a truck coming, a food truck. I tell them what kind of food truck, to let me come on you cool with me. You see that all these is my peoples. Y'all letting them come here. Can we come make some money off y'all? I want to sell some food on y'all land. And it's gonna be some food that y'all don't have. So am I able to come? Yes. So when I get that food truck, I'm gonna sit right there. I'm gonna have vegan candy.
Yep.
I'm gonna have vegan snacks on my truck just to get out there and let these kids taste it and be like, listen, you go in there and get them a bag of chips, but you can taste these and they taste just better.
Yeah.
And teach them a different habit. Giving away.
Yeah.
Yes, the little kids.
Yes.
The little kids. The candy. Oh, taste this vegan candy. This is something little not all sweet like you. Taste this.
Yeah.
Guarantee you they're gonna be starting coming to my truck. I just gotta get there. You gotta get there to serve the people. There's no one to serve the people. They don't want them. And you know, in my community, there's not a black convenience store. There's not. You're not gonna find one. Why? Oh, because there might be a lot of hanging out there. Okay. It's going to be a lot of sales at that place, just like it's in any other one of these convenience stores. But guess what? We might throw something in there healthy on your ass. So if we throw something healthy in there on you, that makes you messing up for all the other convenience stores. Because I don't make a convenience store that's a vegan store right now in my community. I'm messing up for all the other stores. Because now you're not going to want to go there. You're like, I'm going over there. They food a little bit cheaper and it's better. And it's healthy for me.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's my goal. I want to change my neighborhood around too. Like I said, a white neighborhood. You know what I mean? We need to deserve to eat healthy too. Our kids deserve to live on and on. So that's all I want to do. I just want to bring something good to my community. So,
I'm really ready to eat.
yeah. Go ahead, man. Enjoy yourself. I'm glad for this. Man.
This is fantastic.
Yes, I'm glad you.
This is
you asked to
fantastic.
do this, man. I'm glad.
And one of the sad parts of it is someone came into Eureka and was like, I just imagine that all of you who have vegan restaurants, like, you all just go and hang out all the time. Like, aren't you all just like best friends? It's like, no. There's some of us are friends, some of us are really close, some of us, when I started doing pay what you want, pay what you can dinners, when I started doing dollar passwords, and I said, I created this business model where it's just me, where I'm off of the beaten path. My rent's real cheap. I made my sales for the day. I've got food left over. I can do this. And somebody was like, well, are you saying every restaurant should do that? Are you saying I'm like, no, that's their business model. That's what they got to do. I understand why everybody's charging what they got to charge. I understand what everybody's doing. This is what I can do. Somebody was like, well, I think that's not fair to these other places. It's like, yeah, I put $1 password out. I had 5 servings of it left. And that's gone, and people are going to come in and it's gone. And thought that was like confrontational. Thought that it was, you talking about your story. Well, not everybody has that story. No, that's Lewis's story. That's Lewis's reasons.
Yeah.
That's it. And that other, I never thought like, oh, geez, that's an unfair advantage that he gets to say he's the only the first black-owned plant-based restaurant. I was like, yeah, right on, good. Yeah, I just hype that. Tell that. I want to tell that story. And people would come to me, this crew right here, the Pass family. I told them about an event at Dulceria. They came back the next week and we're like, why did you tell us about somebody else's business? Because I love Dulce. I love it. It's great. People in Eureka, and I'm like, go to Trio. Why are you telling me to go to somebody else's business? Because I'm not in competition with him. We're in competition with every business that is still selling meat.
Man, I'm not worried about no vegan restaurant, man.
How many meals are you going to eat in a lifetime? You can spend a couple at Trio. You can spend a couple at Figure 4. Lewis came into my restaurant.
I look at the vegan community like church, a congregation. You do not. I don't want your members because you're doing the same thing I'm doing.
Right.
I'm trying to get other people in. I'm trying, like church. They want to save other souls. They want to save souls that is corrupt. I'm trying to save people who's not eating healthy. I'm not in no competition with no vegan person. This is a congregation. We're doing the same thing. I'm trying to get them from over there and over there to come over here and show them what you're eating over there is just as good over here. But guess what? You're eating healthy over here. You're gonna feel better when you leave out of here. So I can never be in competition with not lamb vegan restaurant in the state of Minnesota or anywhere else.
Yeah, no.
It's already hard enough for all of us already. I'm once again one of the, besides Figure Flower up there, it's me and them. So, and you got options around, but we the only full thing that's going on. So
again, how many meals am I going to eat? I can eat one here. I can eat one there. I can eat one there. It's all good.
Right.
It's all good. You don't. Somebody specifically told me one time. They were like, "Well, this is the one vegan restaurant that I go to, and I like it, so I don't go anywhere else."
You gonna get tired of
And eat at one vegan restaurant in this town. Never tried.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Well, I know I like it there.
And that's just how non-vegans are, though. I've been that same person when I was just eating in the world. Like, you get that one restaurant, I'm like, I want that all the time. I don't even want nothing else. I know I'm getting treated right here. I'm going to eat that. But once I started to learn to spread my eating habits, start tasting other things, tasting different flavors. That's how you get flavor. If you don't taste, you won't get flavor. You got to taste the flavor. Yeah.
It sounds corny, but I'm going to say it. Vegan-angelical.
Well, yeah.
We're spreading it.
Yes.
We're spreading it.
So yeah, I'll let you enjoy
Yeah.
your meal, man.
Louis.
I thank you for everything, man.
Thank you, man.